Welcome to Let's Play Tourist Trophy Part 3! Let's get our third of four licenses, the Expert License. So, 10 more tests, and let's just get right to it. With E1, which is a pretty major portion of Tsukuba circuit. Got a lot to do here in a Yamaha YZF-R1. This one, kind of difficult. Especially if you forget that chicane exists and you have to go around it. Because you have to go around that chicane in this game. But yeah, this is where the license tests get a little more difficult, but still not too bad. There's a few that took me a lot of tries to finally accomplish, but overall it's not too bad. But there we go, there's the gold for the first one. Got it by 2/10, so you know. Once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. This one, getting the gold time isn't difficult. Not crashing is kind of difficult. This entire approach is pretty difficult in this game. The first hairpin at Grand Valley, obviously. You kind of have to take it nice. Try to take it nice and smooth. I was a little late on the brakes. It slid a little bit, and I do that often. One thing I have learned, though, that I won't show until much later in the LP, is that if you only use the front brake on that left-hander, you won't slide, and you'll still get pretty good braking. So, take that bit of advice there. Anyways, E3, Avoidance 2. A second of 2 avoidance tests. This one has 5 sections instead of 3. And this one took a few tries just because I'm really bad at reacting to sudden things, so I would either go the wrong way or crash into the wall there when the arrow shows up. But yeah, just like the first test, completely random which way the arrow points. Almost fell off there. And then finally got to stop in the final zone. And there we go, just like the first one, this gives you plenty of time to get the gold. I got gold by 2 seconds there, so yeah, you don't have to rush it like I do. Next test, staying at Grand Valley, it is the uphill S, and the second hairpin. And this S is it's not dangerous, but it's not easy as well. Well, getting to the top of the hill is maybe a little dangerous depending on how wide you go here, which I went kind of wide. But did okay in that last apex. And then down to the hairpin. A little late on the brakes. Took it wide. But got good acceleration off and got enough for the gold by 2/100ths of a second. Kind of have to be careful on the throttle exiting that second hairpin, obviously, because it's low speed. So, you know, wheel spin and all that. E5, hey, it's this test, except it's a little longer. The old, the little chicane hairpin section at Midfield Raceway that we love oh so much. I actually like it. It's one of my favorite, turn sections ever. This is also extremely difficult to get a gold. At least it seems that way. Oop, a little wheel spin there. Off the hairpin. You see behind my ghost. I have to be very careful on that left-hander to not fall off the bike because it does get kind of upset. But I managed to stay upright, and I think full throttle. I wasn't really paying attention. But yeah, that one's a little more difficult to gold. This one, however, isn't. Once you actually know what you're doing. This is the final final corner at Valencia, the new circuit in the game, and the rundown to it, which is curved, which kind of throws you a curveball. Once again, like I mentioned in the first hairpin Grand Valley, I didn't demonstrate it here because I didn't know about it, but using the front brake on the approach to that turn and no rear brake really helps eliminate any possible sliding, which is good. But overall, that's a pretty easy test, as long as you don't slide into the turn and actually make it through the turn, therefore, it's fine. Now we get to the fun stuff. we're at the Nordschleife for our next couple tests. Yeah. These are, well, they're Nürburgring difficult. And, as you see, my first attempt, it was pretty slow, but at this point, my first tries at these tests were just kind of the feeling out process. So once I got figured out what this bike could do around here, I fucking went for it. As you see. This wasn't a perfect run by any means. Yeah, like that, I missed the apex. And also, I was having trouble getting used to this bike's low revs, because it only redlines at 8,000, or 6,000, as opposed to like 16,000. So I was trying to get used to that. So, you know, I had a couple delayed upshifts, probably. But, I don't really know what else to say about it. I got the gold by over a second, so I improved a lot more than I thought I was going to. And that test is conquered. Now we move on to E8, which is at the same place, just at a different section. This is the, oh, this is one of the later sections on the track. I couldn't remember where this was. But yeah. Same concept. First run was a feeling out process, then I got used to the bike. Ooh, wheel spin there. Big wheel spin there. Almost fell off there. I'm surprised I didn't. Here I'm just kind of competing with my coast. And failing. Don't worry. This is the one I show for a reason. Yeah, my last run kind of went up on the curb there. That cost me a bunch of time. And I just kind of go around this section really fucking well. And make up all the time I need to get the gold. Well, there we go. So, it took me 2 corners to gain a second on my last time. So yeah. Speaking of difficult tests, E9. This is a combination of the 130R and the final chicane at Suzuka. Which in this game, the chicane is a little further out. I guess to provide for more time to brake or something, I don't know. But first things first, get through the 130R. Did a little slower than my previous Ghost. But that's not the important part. The important part is getting through the chicane quickly, which is really fucking hard for me to do. But I managed to stomp on the throttle there as I go through the left, and that's what gave me the half a second I needed to succeed in getting the gold. But yeah, that one is a test of can you get the chicane right. If so, congrats, but it's fucking hard, at least for me. And finally, our graduation test for the expert class is 1 lap around Autumn Ring. In a very low revving bike, so once again, had to get used to shifting sooner than I would think. Overall, this isn't too bad of a test. Oop, spun tires there, or spun the tire there. 1 tire. Just get through the bus stop. Got through the bus stop a lot better than my previous run. My feeling out run. Leaving a spark show as well. I'm already 0.9 up on my last run, which is good enough for the gold, although I ran that turn hairpin a little wide. The section is kind of bumpy. You would think the bike would get very unsettled, but it doesn't for some reason, especially around this turn. So it's just kind of a weird uphill banked, I don't know, turn. And here, this 270 is just a test of patience. Don't want to get on the throttle too soon, because you'll go flying up the track and have to adjust your speed. Then this little chicane here. Took that very well. Just get around a couple turns. This left hand up here is a very easy spot to fall off the bike, so you have to be very careful here because of that dip. And then you have to be careful also in the right-hander to not go to the pit wall, because you'll smack your head on it and fall off. But there's lap Autumn Ring in almost a second faster than I needed to. So, finally, we get our expert license, our third of 4. that just leaves 10 more license tests. Yari. All gold. And now we get a bunch of gear. First, for getting the license with all bronze, we get all this shit. Yay. Once again, I don't really care about the gear. I do change my rider gear at some point in this LP. But yeah, I'm just showing this to show it. Because people will be curious. Like, ooh, what do you get from the license? Well, you get all this shit. And also, if you're good enough to get the gold, you get a bike. Which is the Honda NR750 for the expert license. Another Honda. This game really likes giving you Hondas. This is a bulky-ass bike. But it's pretty cool. And it's from 92, so it kind of understand its shape. But yeah, there we go. One more license to go. So let's just check out our new Honda NR750. Bam. Pretty nice bike. So with that, stay tuned for the final license of Tourist Trophy. Yeah.